Good morning dear students. How do you do? Today we can discuss about mode of nutrition in single cell organisms. Okay, we know that reproduction is not essential for the survival of an individual organisms, but organisms reproduce to maintain their species. Okay, an organism can survive or live without reproducing its young ones, but most of the organisms reproducing their young ones for what? To maintain their species. Otherwise, their species may be extinct from this world. Okay. Here you can see some yeast. Do you know how the yeast reproduce? You can see how the yeast reproduce here. Yeast reproduce by budding. Okay. For this process, a small bud is formed from the parental body, and nucleus also divide into two and small buds are formed. This mode of reproduction is budding. Now you can listen to an activity which shows budding in yeast.
Of asexual reproduction of yeast cells by budding.
Madam, what is reproduction? And also explain the mode of asexual reproduction of yeast cell.
Reproduction is the process of producing more of one's own kind. Most yeasts reproduce asexually by an asymmetric division process called budding. First, a small bulge appears on the parent cell that grows to full size and forms a bud. Then the nucleus of the parent cell splits into two daughter nuclei, one of which migrates into the daughter cell. This may further lead to the formation of a chain of buds. Each of these buds later detach to develop into a new organism. Let's perform an experiment to show the process of asexual reproduction of yeast cells by budding. The materials required are yeast powder, a petri dish, a microscope, some water, a spoon, sugar, a glass slide and a cover slip, dropper and glass rod. Procedure: take a petri dish and pour some water in it. Place some yeast in the petri dish. Add a spoon of sugar to the water and stir well to dissolve it. Place the dish at a warm place. After a few hours, put a drop of the solution formed on a glass slide and cover it carefully with a cover slip. Now place the slide under a high-power microscope and observe it. Observations: a chain of buds can be observed on many yeast cells. Result: the yeast cell reproduces asexually by the process called budding. Do's: prepare the mixture carefully. Handle the petri dish, glass slide and cover slip with care. Don'ts: don't add a large amount of water. Don't place a large amount of mixture on the glass slide.
Thank you, madam. This experiment has made the concept very easy to understand.
For unicellular organisms, cell division or fission leads to creation of new individual. Many different patterns of fission have been observed. Many bacteria and protozoa simply split into two equal halves during cell division. In organisms such as amoeba, the splitting of two cells during cell division can take place in any plane. For binary fission in amoeba, first the nucleus of the amoeba will elongate and two nuclei are formed. Then the parent body divides into two daughter cells. In this way, amoeba is reproduced. So, the amoeba is reproduced by binary fission. So, in amoeba, a parent body is divided into two equal halves. This mode of reproduction is called binary fission.
Amoeba reproduces asexually by binary fission. Binary fission is a type of asexual reproduction in which the fully grown parent cell splits into two halves, producing two new daughter cells. At the time of binary fission, the amoeba withdraws pseudopodia and becomes spherical in shape. The nucleus splits longitudinally and divides into two daughter nuclei. These daughter nuclei move towards opposite poles. This is followed by the elongation of the parent cell. A fissure appears in the middle of the cytoplasm between the two daughter nuclei, dividing the cells into two equal halves. Thus, two daughter amoebae are produced from a single parent. One of them has the original contractile vacuole, while the other develops a new one. The entire process of binary fission is completed in less than half an hour, but this time varies with temperature.
Binary fission in Leishmania. Leishmania is a single-cell organism which causes Kala-Azar. It have a white-like structure at one end of the cell. Can you see the white-like structure? In such organism, binary fission occurs in a definite orientation. Here you can see the nucleus of the parent body will divide into two, and that white-like structure also formed into two. Then the parent body divides longitudinally. Finally, two leishmanias are formed. This type of fission are called. Here the binary fission occurs longitudinally. What is the difference that you observed in fission in amoeba and leishmania? In amoeba, binary fission occurs in any plane. But what about leishmania? In leishmania, it has a definite plane for the binary fission. Now we can learn about another way of fission, that is multiple fission in Plasmodium. Plasmodium is a malarial parasite. That means it causes malaria. Plasmodium divides into many daughter cells simultaneously by multiple fission. What do you mean by multiple fission? In multiple fission, many daughter cells are produced from a parental body. You can see here in picture A, you can see a parental plasmodium. Then what happened in picture B? The nucleus of the parental plasmodium divided into several. Then all of these nucleus become new individual. Then when they get favorable condition, the cyst of the plasmodium will break and all these new forms are released. So several new individuals are formed. If a parent body divides into several daughter cells, such type of fission are called multiple fission. Now we can discuss about fragmentation. In multicellular organisms with relatively simple body organization, simple reproductive methods can still work. Here you can see the picture of Spirogyra. When the Spirogyra attained maturity, what happened? The body of the Spirogyra divided into several small pieces of fragments. Then each fragment will grow into new individual. This type of reproduction is called fragmentation. In fragmentation, each fragment will grow into new individual.
The filamentous Spirogyra reproduces asexually, simply by the breakup of its filaments into smaller sections. This is called fragmentation. This is possible because the filaments consist of many identical cells, each capable of living independently. Spirogyra.
What are the things that we learned today? First, we learn about importance of reproduction. all the living organisms, they are reproducing their young ones for maintaining their species. Actually, this process, that is the reproduction, is not necessary for the survival of an individual organism. And simple organisms like single cell organisms, they are following asexual mode of reproduction. Asexual mode of reproduction means only one parent is involving for producing their young ones. And the most common asexual mode of reproduction is that fission. And we learn about fission we can see the fission in amoeba, leishmania and plasmodium. Then what is fission? Fission means division. Then we learn about binary fission in amoeba. When the amoeba attains maturity, the parental amoeba divides into two daughter cells. Okay. This type of fission is called binary fission. From a single parental body, two daughter cells are formed. This type of reproduction is called binary fission. And we know that the binary fission occurs in any plane in the case of amoeba. Okay, there is no definite area. It can occur any plane. Okay. Then we learn about binary fission in leishmania. Leishmania is also a unicellular organism which causes a disease, that is Kala-Azar. It has a definite plane for binary fission because you can see a Y-plaque structure here. Okay, so it can't able to divide in this way. So only longitudinal way of cutting or division is possible here. Okay, so for leishmania there is a definite plane or longitudinal division is possible. So here you can see a parental leishmania. When it attains maturity, it start to divide and two new offsprings or two daughter cells are formed. Here also we can see binary fission. Then we also learn about multiple fission. Multiple fission means from a single parental body, many daughter cells are formed. We can see multiple fission in plasmodium. Okay, plasmodium is a parasite which causes malaria. In the case of plasmodium, here you can see the parental plasmodium. Then it start to or it produce several new offsprings. You can see inside this parental plasmodium several new daughter cells are formed. Okay, so from a single body, single parental body, several or many daughter cells are formed. Such type of reproduction is called multiple fission. Then we learn about fragmentation. We can see the fragmentation in Spirogyra. Have you heard about Spirogyra? Spirogyra is a type of algae. We can found in water. Okay. So in fragmentation, the parental body will divide into too many fragments. Okay. Here you can see this is the parental body. When it attains maturity or when it need to reproduce its young one, some fragments are formed. Then each fragment will grow into new offspring. This type of reproduction is called fragmentation. We can see the fragmentation more commonly in Spirogyra. I hope all of you understand the topic well, learn well. Okay.